Hi, I'm Dr. Walter Mamachuk, and I'm here to talk to you about coping with uncertainty, injustice, and the difficulty of life. Each week, I do a presentation on REBT, and it's not uncommon for me to talk to people about very difficult circumstances. In rational emotive behavior therapy, we help people to develop realistic, adaptive, and functional attitudes. Now, typically, they're called rational attitudes, but what we're really driving at are attitudes that are realistic and help you cope with reality as it is and not how we'd like it to be. Very often, these attitudes are flexible and non extreme. When we hold strong wishes, it's very easy for us to escalate our wishes into dogmatic demands, rigid demands, and people will often hold attitudes like, I really have a dream and I think I'm deserving of getting this particular dream. Therefore, I absolutely should get what I want. Sadly, we live in a world that isn't fair, and REBT teaches people to construct healthy attitudes about the unfairness, the difficulty of achieving our goals, and even the failure to achieve them or the uncertainty that we may experience while we strive to achieve our goals. In REBT, we challenge the rigid attitudes that people naturally hold about their strong desires and teach them to create flexible attitudes like, I have a dream, I really want this particular dream to come true, but it doesn't follow that it has to. Just because I want it, it doesn't mean that I have to get it. Now I have a choice. I could choose to be concerned that I may never get what I want, but continue to work at attempting to get what I want, or I can feel a healthy sense of disappointment or sadness and thereby think about an alternative dream that I may pursue. In REBT, we teach people to stubbornly refuse to be miserable about the circumstances of life and then to decide on how they want to proceed. Do they want to continue to pursue the long shot, or do they want to cultivate a healthy and flexible attitude about what they can't get and then figure out what they're going to do to make themselves happy with options that are available to them? Albert Ellis taught that people will jump from a strong preference to a rigid demand. And what we're doing in REBT is teaching people how to discipline their minds and go back to keeping strong preferences for what they want. We admit that REBT is not an easy therapy to practice or an easy philosophy to hold, particularly when we have strong desires. However, it pays great dividends when we discipline our mind to remain flexible, even in the face of injustice, uncertainty, and disapproval or rejection or deprivation or loss or failure. REBT teaches people that they can come to accept life as it is and then make the most of it. We believe in REBT that life is hard and challenging. It's not a dark view that we have about reality. It's more of a realistic one. And maybe it's unfair to all of us in one way or another, and that might be the only fair aspect of life. But it's clear that some people have it harder than others. Life is more unfair to some than others. Sadly, that's life. And what we're going to do in REBT is empower people to accept that and then go and make the most of life despite the hand they've been dealt. So I'd encourage you to study my writing on coping with injustice and uncertainty and the difficulties of life, and then work to implement them in your life. You can do this through teaching it to other people. You can do this by modeling for them the healthy attitude of REBT. You can also reflect in reflect on these attitudes and think about how you would be far better off if you really, really cultivated unconditional life acceptance. Now, if you want to see REBT in action, you can write to me at rebtdoctor, DOCTOR, at gmail.com and join us on Saturday at 9 a.m. Eastern here in New York City. I hold a weekly Zoom demonstration of REBT and show people how to stubbornly refuse to make themselves miserable about a real problem that they present. And I've done it now for well over 260 weeks. I think this week it's going to be 268 or 9. And we have quite a crowd that joins us, and we show people from all over the world that REBT applies across cultures, because across cultures, people have their culturally learned preferences, but then they naturally jump to rigid demands. And in REBT, we show people how to de-escalate or go back to strong preferences about the challenges they face. I hope to see you on Saturday, but more importantly, I hope that you adopt a realistic attitude towards life and that you then creatively and tenaciously pursue your dreams or adopt realistic ones that are more easily achieved. In either case, good luck to you.